My god. That sure was a season that happened. I've overheard that this season didn't go the way the writers actually wanted to, that there was a lot of executive meddling, and my god, I hope that was the case, because I honestly hate being mean and ragging on someone's hard work, but even if this was the writer's vision and season 8 went exactly like how they wanted it to go, even if I hate being mean, I have to comment on what I just could not stand about this season. Plenty of other channels have already talked about why season 8 was bad and how to fix it even, but I'm going to be specifically talking about Voltron's LGBT representation. I specifically didn't make a video talking about the whole Adam debacle of season 7 because I wanted to give Voltron a chance. I wanted season 8 to come out and judge the show as a whole, because maybe they would do a 180 and give us some fucking amazing representation, something incredible. But no, that didn't happen. Before we get into why the season 8 rep was bad, let's backtrack and talk about season 7. The first episode of season 7 was shown early, and in that episode we were introduced to Adam, who the creators confirmed was Shiro's boyfriend, and maybe they said it was his ex-fiancé or something, I don't know, I wasn't there at the panel. But everyone at the con, online, everyone lost their minds. Oh my god, Shiro is gay. Oh my god, he has a boyfriend. Oh my god, we're gonna get to meet him. We're gonna get to know about Adam. We're gonna see their interactions. We're gonna see how they got along. Nope. When the rest of the season dropped, we got the first episode where Adam was introduced, and then the next episode he was in, he fucking died. He got shot down. That's it. That's all you get. There's Adam. Bye. The only mention from Shiro that we got was just him asking, oh hey, where's Adam? And then, he gets told that Adam died and he just, has a sad face, I guess, like, oh, bummer. And I heard that there was executive meddling and that, the higher-ups didn't want it to be too obvious that they were a thing. And that Adam's dialogue in the first episode was changed at the last minute to make it slightly more indicative that him and Shiro had a relationship. So you know what? I get it. The execs were stepping all over the place saying, no, you can't have a gay character, nah, don't do that, this is for kids. But if that's the case, if that's what they were dealing with, the writers, they should have given, I don't know, some sort of heads up or not hyped up Adam as much as they did. They really made it seem like he and Shiro were gonna interact, like we were gonna get to see them talk about it, reconcile their relationship, try and be friends, something! And I get it. Not every show can be Steven Universe. Not every creator is willing to risk their show in order to have prominent representation. But if you're not gonna put in good representation, the very least you could do is not hype up your fans. Besides being disappointing, it was just kind of insulting. Like, really? You introduce a gay character and immediately kill him off? Are you serious? And the writer's defense for this was that they were trying to show that, war is cruel and, nothing happy ever comes out of war or whatever. But if they were trying to show that, why did they do it with a character we don't know anything about, so why would it even impact us? And 2, the only gay character you have. You couldn't have had Lance's sister die, or, I don't know, Pidge's mom die, or just literally anyone, like any of their families, any of their family members. You had to choose the gay character. I don't know, I feel like there were a million different other ways to show that war is cruel. I spent pretty much all of season 7 praying that Adam would miraculously come back. I mean, Shiro's died like, what, 3-4 times? And he's come back every single time. Lance died and Allura brought him back. Ezor and Zethrid should have definitely died, but, you know, no, they're fine. They just somehow escaped that. But, you know, Adam's death was the one that just had to stick. That one's the one that he had to stay dead. Okay, now let's get into season 8. Because, my god, they really did not waste any time in pissing me off. In episode 1, when Chiro's giving his speech about, like, rebuilding Earth and going off to finish off the Galra Empire, he talks about, like, oh, the people we've lost in the war or whatever. And then the camera cuts to the fucking general. The bitch who sold Earth out, who pretty much destroyed all of Earth. Really? Shiro's giving his speech about lost loved ones, and it cuts to the general instead of Adam? Are you kidding me? That honestly made me so angry. The general was a terrible person, and I don't care that she was doing what she thought was best for Earth. The fact that she trusted the Galra to keep their word more than Voltron to do their job and take care of the Galra, it was infuriating. And it genuinely pissed me off to see the camera pan to her death placard thing, whatever, when Shiro was talking about lost loved ones. It should have been a cut to Adam's placard. That was the very least they could have done to make their past relationship a little more obvious, but you know, they didn't. No, the general deserves more screen time because she was such a hero. And then there's the Allurance stuff. Listen, honestly, I thought they were pretty cute. I mean, I was definitely one of those people that thought that Clance was gonna be endgame, but I wasn't, like, that upset when I saw that that's not the direction they were going. Like I said in the previous video, I'm pretty easygoing, I'm go with the flow. Despite it being 2018, I know that most shows aren't gonna make the ships that I like canon, and I'm fine with that. It just really sucked with Voltron because they hyped up the fact that they had representation, and Keith and Lance had just this really good chemistry between them. They were just exuding that rivals to friends to lovers energy. But then we have Lance being all mopey about wanting to be with Allura, and honestly, I thought it was kind of cute seeing him trying to get up the courage to ask her out. That was pretty adorable. And a lot of their moments, the kisses, the cuddling, they were pretty cute. I downright said, "Aww," when I saw them cuddling on the bed. It was so adorable. But the thing that really ruined it more than Lance's rushed "I love you" was the fact that Allura's feelings never felt genuine. Her romance with Lotor felt right because, you know, they were spending all this time together, they were working together, they were trying to achieve the same goals, they were together constantly. It just felt right when they started falling for each other. And their kiss felt perfect. Like, yeah, of course they'd kiss. They're obviously into each other. They've obviously have become very, very close. With Lance, however, seasons 1 to 7 have just been Lance one-sidedly being in love with Allura. And I believe that his love is genuine. I can see how much he actually loves her. It made perfect sense for him to try and ask her out. But Allura only really got feelings for Lance maybe season 7, I guess. Season 8 is the only time she shows any actual attraction to him, though. Before that, he was just kind of that annoying guy that hit on her all the time. It wasn't until her emotions for Lotor were in full swing that the mice told her about Lance's feelings, and when they told her, she just kind of had this, "oh man, what a bummer" kind of face. It kind of just felt like she was with him because she felt sorry for him. Because she knew how much he was so in love with her. And now that Lotor is dead, you know, she needs someone to cuddle with her, so, you know, let's throw Lance a bone. Let's pity him a bit. I know they wanted us to believe that Lance and Allura truly loved each other, that it was true love. But it honestly just felt like Lance was her rebound. Like, hey Lance, I mean, I guess I'll go out with you since my old boyfriend died. Let's go on that date, I guess. I don't know, their interactions were cute, but her feelings were never genuine. They never felt genuine, at least. Now let's talk about that ending. So Lance and Allura kissed, Lance got Altean markings, check out my video on that if you want to see why that happened. Allura died, and then Lance was depressed for the rest of his life. That's great. I did momentarily think, oh, maybe Clance will be canon, since Allura is dead and they start doing this kind of like epilogue thing. I thought either Clance was gonna be endgame or we were gonna get to see Lance falling in love with someone else. But instead he's forever depressed about a girl he dated for like a month, I guess. And we're left to assume that he doesn't meet anyone else and that he eventually dies alone. Yay! The reason I bring up the whole Allurance thing is because the show set up Clance way better than it set up Allurance. And it's just so baffling that they had such a perfect romance ready to go, and yet they still decided to dole out such a rushed and forced romance with Allura and Lance. You know what show did a better ending epilogue? Fucking Regular Show! A lot of the show's drama came from Mordecai trying to find a girlfriend, whether that be Margaret or CJ. The show bounced between Margaret and CJ heavily, and it leaned more towards Margaret, but in the end, he didn't end up with either. He ended up with some random Batgirl, and you know what? It was fine. It was cute. Because at the very least, in the epilogue, we got to see them meet, and we got to see that they had a shared interest, whether that they both be artists or at least that she is into art. It would have been really nice to see that with Lance. To see at least a few screenshots of him falling for someone else and living happily. You know who else that would have been a good idea for? Shiro! Let's get into that! So everyone gets their own little what are they up to today screenshot. We've talked about how Lance's end is just, you know, him being miserable, but now let's talk about how Shiro's end is him getting married to some random guy. It was just literally so out of left field. I will admit, seeing Shiro in a nice little tux and having him kiss his fiancée was cute, but I didn't feel anything. Nothing other than, oh, that's pretty cute. Because who is this guy? Who is he? I had to stare at the guy for a minute to realize it wasn't just some random guy, that we've actually seen this guy before. I honestly thought that Shiro just married some random guy at first. I have no idea how they managed to screw up a gay wedding. Shiro was looking handsome, the kiss was really cute, it should have been great, it should have been a nice end note. But we have no idea who his husband is! What's even his name? Was it even mentioned in the show what his name was? Fuck if I know, all I know is that he was worried for Iverson's dog. Literally, that's it. That's all we know about him, is that he was worried for Iverson's dog. That was his only speaking role. And we only kind of got to see him interact with Shiro. In Clear Day, this dude was in the audience cheering Shiro on for the arm wrestling competition. And that's it. That was their only slight interaction. Not really even, because they didn't actually interact, it was just him cheering Shiro on. And I will admit, when I saw him there cheering for Shiro, I did think, oh, that's kinda cute. Oh man, they'd kinda look cute together. 'Cause that's the kind of person I am. If two characters look even kind of cute together, I'll like passively ship it. Like, you know, I'll like some art or two. Maybe read a fic. But I never imagined that that would become canon. That would be the relationship that would be canon. My god! They just built up Clance so well that I really am kind of surprised that they didn't go for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously two people can be just friends, like even if they have this amazing chemistry going on between them, it's possible for them to just not see each other as anything more than friends, and that's fine. But the fact that the writers made kind of a big deal about there being LGBT representation, and the fact that Clance was just set up so well, made it super disappointing to see that our representation was just, you know, at the very literal last second, and it was Shiro ending up with a guy that he's literally never even spoken to on screen before. Yeah, that was pretty depressing. The reason why people are so upset about Voltron and how it got progressively worse and worse is because the beginning had such amazing promise. The setup was great, the characters were great, it seemed like it was gonna be an amazing show. And it's not that it's a terrible show, it just fell short of fan expectation. I feel like Voltron could have reached its full potential if, 1, there wasn't so much fucking meddling from DreamWorks. Like, come on guys, rein it in, let the writers do their thing. And 2, if they had more episodes, cause a lot of parts feel rushed, and it really feels like some other things should have been fleshed out, like Keith's suicide attempt that no one ever mentioned. Now that we have the whole series, it really just feels like Voltron is a lesson on how executive meddling could bog down a show, and a lesson on how you can't trust a straight person to do a gay person's job, which is to be gay. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Neka Chicana, over and out.